Well, hello everybody and welcome back into the yard and gardens this beautiful sunny Thursday morning in spring as we are, well, it feels like rapidly approaching the beginning of the Westman garden season, which for those of you who aren't familiar with my struggles, starts on the 1st of June and ends on about the 15th. No, it actually ends beginning of September. We're kind of looking at first frost is on its way, so we get a 3 to 4 month garden season, like outdoor garden season, and anything else we have to start indoors or take indoors, harden off and all that fun stuff. But anyway, today is a beautiful day, so I thought I would share with you just kind of some of what's been going on with the straw bale saga. So both recent and regular viewers are, I'm sure, quite aware of my addiction to the use of mulch in general in the gardens, but specifically I love straw bales. You can grow things in them, you can mulch things with them, you can turn them into compost, you can bed your chickens down in them. Straw bales are amazingly useful, and the average farmer considers these things to be a waste product. In fact, we see plumes of horrible thick black smoke every year from farmers that are burning up the straw and the hay piles because the twine broke or whatever, instead of just kind of forking it into a trailer or whatever to make use of it right away. They just torch it, let all that beautiful carbon that should feed the soil biology escape into the air, and it becomes someone else's problem. Well, yeah, I use it. I make excellent use of it, and it seems that it confuses my neighbors a little bit. On the 8th, which was Saturday, you can check back in the videos, I received a very happy blessing of a trailer full of straw that used to be an ice rink on Main Street here in town. So not secluded on the edge of the field, but on Main Street. Okay, granted, that's only 2 blocks away, but still, we're on the edge of town here. And I immediately started figuring out what I was going to do with them, because I didn't want them to be an eyesore, and I did want to get them into the garden as soon as I possibly could. And this just feels like the right thing to do. As I make this video, it is Thursday. Yesterday, being Wednesday, I had a councilman pull up into my driveway, which is ironic on a couple of levels. 1, I ran against this fellow for council last time around, and 2, I'm running for the by-election for council, so I'll be sitting beside this guy. And 3, it was asked that I run for the by-election because people here in Strath are a little disappointed with this particular individual's actions, as in general, apparently not doing much, but this was apparently worth the effort. Someone who could not be named for reasons that honestly equate to blah, 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 gave complaints which could not specifically be noted, but in general led to fears of rodent and snake concerns over my unsightly pile of straw. Like I said, that was on Saturday. Go back and check the video. It wasn't a pretty pile of straw. But if you look at the following day's videos, like the next 3 days, I'm putting it to use, and we now have these little raised bed gardens. I've been kind of referring to them as land champas in talks with Shar, and we also kind of call them our garden ships, because it kind of, I don't know, it looks a little bit like a boat. And we've talked about maybe putting in some sort of a mast in the middle and a bit of trellis, and then maybe putting the painted lady runner beans there so it can fill it up like a sail, right? It's just to kind of pretty it up a little bit, have fun with the garden, because I need those legumes. I need to pump the nitrogen into there from the air. It's freely available, so I'm not going to pay for it, but if I can grab it from the air via legumes, put it into the straw over the winter, that's going to break down, get closer to being beautiful composted soil for me. So next year these are going to do even better. Next year they're going to do even better than that. It's fantastic. But apparently this bale of straw broke the council's back, because people have been complaining and he had to come over and talk to us about it. And so of course, being me, I'm like, oh well, you want to see what's going on? I'll show you what's going on. And I came over and I explained everything, and he kind of nodding, giving me suggestions about I might want to strap this together, which is Not a bad suggestion, and if I were looking at this as a long-term idea, definitely something I would look into. So it appears the councilman himself doesn't have a problem with what he saw, but that my neighbors have a problem with what I'm doing. I guess straw mulch in the garden is unsightly. I guess straw piles hidden behind logs is, I don't know, it's just hard to look at. Maybe the potato piles they're just too ugly for the neighborhood. I don't know. Interestingly enough, my snake habitats, all these various piles of bramble, not a word mentioned about those, even though they are kind of a fire hazard. No. The problem was the straw, and it's gonna draw mice. Well, let's just talk about that for a second. So this is the view from out my back fence. We have a 500-acre field that every year is monocropped. No diversity at all, really. I mean, I was told there are 3 different things in here, but I can only ever remember seeing wheat, canola, and snow. I don't think snow technically counts as a crop, but it is a 3rd different thing that happens in here. So I don't understand how my few piles of straw are more likely to draw rodents than 500 acres of it mere feet away from my piles of straw. Since we've moved here, we've had to stop the local crow killer from coming around our property with his shotgun and blasting away the crows, which apparently he gets paid by the RM to do. But okay, if you're worried about mice and rodents and things, wouldn't birds of prey be a good idea? Maybe I'm crazy, but I've seen crows and ravens flying by with squirrels and mice in their talons, claws, whatever. And I kind of think it's a good idea to have them here. So we encourage them, A, because, nature is good, and B, there are a lot of spiritualities and beliefs that hold that our ancestors' souls are embodied in those crows and ravens, and they should be treated with a certain amount of respect. I see nothing wrong with that theory, as it involves treating nature with respect. But back to the point of today's story. Yeah, the straw that broke the council's back. I hope they don't intend to pursue this situation, because then they'll find out just how much education I actually have received and just how much attention to detail I actually pay to things. Like, I let lots of things slide because my general philosophy is live and let live, right? If what you're doing doesn't interfere with what I'm doing, great. If what I'm doing doesn't interfere with what you're doing, great, right? There should be no problems. So if somebody's doing something in their yard that I don't necessarily agree with, I'm not going to go run to the RM about it. What are we, like 10? We're children here? What's next? Oh, they're going to complain about the stagnant water in my salamander pond because salamanders are some new exotic disease threat or something. God, I can't wait to find out what it's going to be. But at the same time, I can't wait to see who's brave enough to stand in a debate against me from council or from the township. Because I didn't learn much from my previous attempt to run for the election, but in the public forum, I did learn that public speaking skills are not necessarily something that they focus on out here. And, well, everyone said I did remarkably well, comparatively speaking, which has given me a certain confidence moving forward because, yeah, I do phrase myself well. I phrase myself fairly quickly. I speak in words the average person can understand. I drive my message home. Sometimes it's a little circular because I want to really pound that spike in, but I drive my message home. So, yeah, I will keep y'all updated as the saga with the straw bale gardens continues. But really, don't worry about it too much. I'm not worried about it too much. I just think it's kind of amusing. And we pitched the channel to the councilman who was here, so I'm curious to see if he's going to watch today's video or not. Much love, everybody. We will be back with more garden videos instead of soap opera type garden videos coming soon. Take care, everyone.